next one is Aquaphor, guys. So we didn't start using Aquaphor until she was about 4 months maybe, because we didn't know how good it was. So the two things that we use from Aquaphor now, and this Aquaphor is the only thing we use for her baths at this point. So if you don't know, Anna has eczema and sensitive skin. So we use the Aquaphor baby wash and the Aquaphor baby lotion. And the reason we switched to Aquaphor was because we were using like a baby friendly bath wash, and it wasn't something super scented or anything, but it would dry out her skin. And the Aquaphor doesn't dry out her skin, it helps her eczema, and it just keeps her skin better. And it is all natural. It has chamomile, it's tear free, it's paraben free, it's fragrance free, it's very cleansing. I really love it. It keeps her, like, she still has eczema, but it kind of keeps her eczema better. And then we pair it with the advanced therapy for dry and chapped and irritated skin. And this actually, we put this all over her body. It keeps her eczema also good. It keeps her skin from drying out. It keeps her skin nice. But it also, you can also use it as a diaper cream. So we don't always use this as a diaper cream, but when she's, now that she's a toddler, sometimes she gets constipation and her butt gets a little more irritated than it should. And if it's like that, the doctor has said to use this one because it just heals that chapped skin so much better. So that's why these two are also on my list of survival. So I would always get, like, from now on, like, when I'm getting bath stuff for a newborn, like for a baby shower, I'm gonna go with Aquaphor. And my next one for newborns is if you choose to introduce a pacifier. So some people don't, and we didn't in the beginning. So I'll tell you guys a little bit of why we chose to introduce a pacifier and when we did. So originally when Anna was born, we didn't choose to introduce a pacifier at all. She didn't used to sleep with a pacifier. She didn't know what a pacifier was. We did not introduce it in the beginning. And that was for two reasons. We kind of didn't want to, and secondly, I didn't want to again introduce nipple confusion, because sometimes when you introduce the pacifier nipple, that could be another nipple that they get confused and they stop on the breast. So while I was breastfeeding, I didn't introduce a pacifier. So if you guys know a little backstory, I breastfed, like I said, I supplemented with formula, but I did breastfeed for 4 months. And so, but before she was 4 months, she never had a pacifier. Then after she was 4 months, if you guys don't know, there's research behind it. I'm not a medical professional. This is just what I've been told and what I've researched myself. But breastfeeding does, it's not 100%. Of course, you can have a breastfeeding baby that ends up having SIDS or sudden infant death syndrome. But breastfeeding does reduce the likelihood of SIDS. And so what happened was when I stopped breastfeeding at 4 months, you know, not that it increases the risk of SIDS because you did breastfeed your baby and that already is the reduction, but I was looking for things to kind of replace the nipple. And so basically when I was breastfeeding, she was getting all her comfort from me. Sometimes she would just suckle me for comfort, not always for food. And then I wanted to I didn't want to take away her comfort completely. I wanted to replace it. And so basically we introduced a pacifier because I stopped breastfeeding. Also because replacing, if you do stop breastfeeding, you're gonna keep the likelihood of SIDS down by introducing a pacifier. So basically they say that having a pacifier does reduce the likelihood of SIDS, but if you're breastfeeding, that's kind of equal. It kind of equals out. But then when you stop breastfeeding, introducing a pacifier and reduces the likelihood of SIDS. So that's why we chose to introduce the pacifier once I stopped breastfeeding, to keep that likelihood of SIDS down and also for comfort. We are weaning her off slowly, but basically she just uses the pacifier now, guys, for like at first when she first starts to fall asleep, and then as soon as she's passed out, she takes the pacifier out of her mouth herself. So she's already weaning herself, but we are going to wean her soon. But that's why we chose to introduce it once she was 4 months. But what I was going to say, why I chose this one, get yourself, if you choose to introduce pacifiers, that's a personal parenting choice, but if you choose to introduce pacifiers at any point, get glow-in-the-dark pacifiers. So I love these because they glow in the dark, so that way when she loses her pacifier at night and starts crying, or when you want to give her that pacifier for comfort, you don't have to interrupt the sleep and turn on the light. It will glow for you. You will find it in that crib and put that baby back to sleep. So get yourself some glow-in-the-dark pacifiers. They sell them in all different forms. These are my favorite. They're from Amazon. I forget the name, but I will link them. These are my favorite pacifiers, and they glow in the dark. Babyganics alcohol-free hand sanitizer. So the reason to use this sanitizer is just because it's alcohol-free, it's plant-based as well, and it is scented, but it's very, very light. So I prefer it over the harsher hand sanitizers. And you know, you need a baby hand sanitizer, but I like this one because it's not as harsh and it is plant-based as well. So that's why it's my favorite. And my next one is also Babyganics, the wipes. And the reason I like, these are all-purpose surface wipes, but the reason I like these is because since they are plant-based and fragrance-free, they are safe to clean children's toys with. So honestly, you shouldn't be cleaning your children's toys with like Clorox and bleach and things like that because they put them in their mouths. So this is plant-based, fragrance-free, paraben-free, all that stuff. So it's safe to clean those children's toys. And what I do is I just wipe down the toys. It kills all the germs. I let them dry and then I give them back to her, and they are safe and they don't expose her to as much chemicals as wiping them with other products. So that's why that's on my list. And my next one that I still use, but I've been using since she was a little baby, is the Mama Frida baby nail file, guys. The baby Frida, right? So the reason I like this baby nail file over others, if you can tell, I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but it's curved. And the way it is made, it is specifically made to make it easier to file the nail. If you see, it goes with the groove of the nail. So we've tried other baby nail files and she would fight us, and it would be really hard to kind of get those little tiny baby nails. And this one, the way it's positioned and made, it's easy to hold in your hand, it's easy to kind of position and handle, and it's easy to handle with those little nails, and it just grooves with the nail, which makes it easier to file and your child a little bit more comfortable. So that's why I like these over the others. And they come in like a pack of 5 on Amazon, so they actually last a long time. So I still use those now. I've been using those since she was a baby. I still use them now. This thing. So this is a baby electric snot sucker, guys. So if you can hear it, it has 2 speeds. So the snot sucker, you know, the little snot suckers, they have the old-fashioned ones that are just a bulb, and those you can't really clean out. They get bacteria. It's kind of gross. And then they have a few others where you like suck out the boogers with like your mouth, and it's a whole thing. I really just like the electronic ones, and I'll tell you why. One, it's electronic and it works really fast, and it has 2 speeds. This one is just for like a low hanging booger. And then if you put it here, it kind of makes it more powerful to get out some like snot. And it comes with 2 nozzles. I don't have the other one on me, but the reason I really love it is because it's electronic. It just goes in there and does it so quickly. When that baby's crying and doesn't want you to do their nose, it does it so much more quickly than any manual one or that little bulb one. And the reason I like it over the bulb too is because it's so much easier to clean. Guys, look, you take off the nozzle, this comes off, you clean these out, let them dry, and then you put it back together. It's so easy. And it comes with a little travel bag that, you know, is bacteria friendly. So that's why I like those over the others, because you do need at least some version of that for your newborn or your baby, but I like that one better. 0 to 3 months, when your baby starts teething and you want to start brushing those little teeth coming in, or even brushing their gums, this is the Dr. Brown All Natural Baby Toothpaste. So I've been using this. This is the only toothpaste I ever use with Anna. It is safe to swallow, so she's at the age, I mean, obviously when you start brushing your newborn baby, 3-month-old baby's teeth, when they don't know to spit out toothpaste, so you have to get a safe to swallow toothpaste. So most baby not most, I would say all baby toothpaste are safe to swallow because that's how they're made, because they know that babies don't know to spit out their toothpaste. However, I like this one because it's all natural, the chemicals. I kind of just like that. For Anna, this is the strawberry flavor, which she loves. I've also given her the pear flavor, which she also loves. So those are the 2 flavors. She likes both of them. And she doesn't really like brushing her teeth in general, but she likes licking this. So this is the toothpaste that I just recommend. You can get whichever one you want, but since this is my favorite survivalist, I just put that on there. So for Anna's hair, guys, if you've been with us since the beginning, you know that she was born with like a lot of hair. She still has a lot of hair now, and it's super, super curly. but she was born with a lot of hair, and so we've had to comb out her hair even as a newborn baby. Crazy, right? So, but I didn't want to use a lot of stuff on her hair. So when she was a newborn, the only thing I used was the tangler, and this was the tangler I used. So this is the Baby Bum, and it's plant-based, vegan, hyperallergenic, and tested. This is the green coconut. I love the way it smells, and it's, like I said, plant-based, doesn't have too many chemicals, and it's yeah, it's just a baby detangler. So that definitely saved me. Obviously, some people are gonna not need that in the newborn stage because you're gonna have babies that are bald and beautiful. But if you got also that lots of locks baby that's like a newborn with like tons of hair like my baby, I'll insert a picture of when she was born so you guys can see what I'm saying, what I'm talking about. But she was born with loads of hair, like, and people were like, oh, she might lose it, she might lose it. She did not lose it. It just curled. So she was born with straight jet black hair, and then she got the curls later. But this is what I used when she was a newborn, and I still use it now. But this is the only thing I used because I didn't put anything in her hair. And then my next one is for teething, you guys, and it is, I do have to say that it's for 3 months and up, just because you can only use it in 3 months and up. That's what it says. But these are teething tablets. They're natural teething tablets. Dr. Tebbit's. It's chamomile natural teething tablets. I don't know if you guys can see. I will link it, like I said, with everything else. I hope you guys can see it. But they're natural teething tablets. They help relax and soothe restless babies who are teething, who are of teething age. And it says 3 months and up. And basically, it's just chamomile flower. Yeah, chamomile and argola extract. So it's 2 different flowers that do help the pain. And I did show this to our doctor just to tell her what Anna was using and that it was an all natural medication. And I asked her if chamomile actually helps teething, and she said yes. And they do help, Anna. It does work. And for younger babies, you can just dissolve it into their breast milk or their formula. You can dissolve, the tablets are dissolvable. So you can just put them in the breast milk or formula, shake it up, they dissolve, and they can drink it. Or like Anna, she's always been able to take it by tongue, and as soon as you put them on the tongue, they dissolve. So they're dissolvable, they're easy to use, and they're all natural. So that, I love those for teething. We do give her Tylenol sometimes if the teething gets bad, but the reason I love these tablets is because I don't love the idea of always giving her Tylenol when she's teething, because, you know, she's kind of constantly teething. I don't want to constantly give her Tylenol when she's not sick. So I prefer those for teething. But if it gets really bad, then we do the Tylenol. But we prefer those, and we start with those and see how that goes when they usually work. And then my next one is really good. So this is a bath and room thermometer, and we nickname him Franklin. So in our house, this is Franklin, but his name is not, you know, it's not actually called like a Franklin thermometer. It's just our nickname for Anna when we say like Franklin. But we name all her stuffed animals and all her little toys, so we named Franklin as well. But why I love this is because it's a bath and room thermometer. So he's water safe. We throw him in the bath and he will tell us if the water's too hot. So why I love this is because we bought Franklin because our thermostats in our house sometimes are a little bit off. And if you guys don't know, one of the leading causes of SIDS is kind of like overheating. So babies don't sweat till they're 12 months old, and so one of the leading causes of SIDS is overheating, because if the baby doesn't sweat and the room gets too hot, they kind of just like stifle, or can stifle. And so we wanted a room thermometer to keep the room as safe as possible, because you're supposed to keep a child's room, a child under 12 months old, between 68 and 72 degrees. And since our thermostats are a little off, we were like skeptical, and so we got Franklin. And so when she sleeps, we keep Franklin in the room, and we just make sure the temperature is good. But I love that he doubles as a bath thermometer, because the temperature that you should have a child's bath kind of range, it's low for us because we're adults and our skin can handle more, but for kids, for babies and toddlers, the bath should really be between 97 and no more than 100 degrees. And Franklin, when you throw him in the bath, he turns green, like this part right here turns green, like a bright green blinking, and he reads the water temperature for you. And if it's between 97 and, so if it's like 80 degrees, it'll kind of show you cold. It'll say cold, cold. And if it's between 97 and 100, it'll just blink, like go ahead, like blink green, like go, like yes. And then if, let's say, the water's like 102, 103, too hot for her, it turns red, the light turns red, and it'll say hot, hot. So it's warning you that it's too hot. So it's just a good way to keep tabs on your baby's bath water and make sure that the bath is safe and nobody's getting accidentally burned. So that's why we love Franklin. Well, this is one thing for when your baby gets sick. So there's not a lot of stuff that you can do for a baby that's really young and gets sick, but this is one of them, and it's by Baby Frida. You guys can tell that I love the company. Again, this video is not monetized. I just love the company. So Baby Frida has, for 3 months and up, vapor wipes, guys. So if your baby has a cold, you can use these, and they are all natural. All they have is aloe vera, vitamin E, and chamomile. They are very smooth on the baby. They are not overpowering, but they do help open up like congestion or colds. Anna didn't get sick at 3 months, so I use these now when she was older, but they did help. And the reason I like it is because I do have an all-natural kids Vicks that I'm going to show you later. But, you know, Vicks, I use, Lord, it's not really a Vicks. It's a kid's chest rub. It's an all-natural chest rub. I use it, but I use it like when we're home, because Vicks, I mean, any chest rub, Vicks, chest rub, they get like, it's messy. It's messy. And so these I kind of use if she's sick, like on the go, or if she's congested on the go. And I just thought they were great.